I would be able to access internet full day for 20 rupees. So if I'm able to access complete internet on a high-end device, then would this whole concept of mobile-specific applications make any sense? Or would it be any internet application that I could use from anywhere, plus added to that geo-specific?
How many people have help at home? In terms of somebody comes to cook or clean the house or as a driver or some, I can bet majority of them have a phone, right? And going back to the early discussion, I don't think they'll ever sign up for a data plan. But will they sign up for mobile banking? I think they would. And at one level, they don't care whether it works on a data plan or not. So I think the segment that we are describing here, which is the segment that appeals to this group, is very, very attractive to us. But the future of mobile web is not just limited to this segment. The future of mobile web, in some respects, has to really focus on a segment beyond the group of people that we're talking about who have a laptop. I think we started the discussion by saying there got to be a large segment of people who never ever experienced an internet experience, right? And can they become big consumers of mobile web? And I think the answer is yes. But what I'm hearing as a conclusion to this panel, several things still need to change before that will get opened up. Later in the day, Sanjay will come up from MCheck and say I was all wrong. I know he's going to do that. And so you should wait for his talk on that as well. Yeah, yes please.
I have a question which is an extension to what he asked, and I'm not sure if it was addressed totally. The question is, when we see the advancement in technology in terms of hardware, and then the progress in software and network capabilities with 3G coming up, will we reach a point where for content providers and for providers on the server side of the internet do not have to care whether the consumer is accessing the data or the information on a mobile device or a laptop with larger screens and of course higher bandwidth capabilities. I assume that the mobile device will become even more powerful than the laptop with its location capabilities and voice capabilities. So are we reaching such a stage where people don't have to even worry and we'll have true convergence of the web?
Can I ask the question, how many of you are not engineers in this room? Not engineers, right? Now, by practice, maybe that's the wrong question. Too many hands will go up. I'm asking by degree. The point I'm making is you could build Amazon by Jet. He came from the financial industry to set up Amazon because the building blocks of technology were all there. The challenge for him was not the technology building blocks per se, but the logistics building blocks to get them to be in place, right? What I want to submit to this panel, to my mind, building compelling mobile web experiences is not a technology challenge. It's getting hold of the right content licenses in some case. Is getting the banks to agree to open up their banking systems for transactions to happen on the mobile. Is getting the various other value chain partners outside of technologists to fall in place. And till such time we continue to look at this problem purely as an engineering problem, then the class of applications that we can offer are in my mind a variant only of the class of applications that are popular on internet today, to which may or may not be, at least in my opinion, is not the large opportunity in front of mobile web in India, not in the US, here in India. So I think that the larger issue of the value chain is that who among you as entrepreneurs has the power to orchestrate a value chain outside of players who bring the technology to the table. The distribution end, the back end, and so on and so forth. I see Sanjay vigorously nodding here. So yeah, I must be right. So, but let me open it up to the panel and hear their perspective. Sanjay and I have this ongoing thing. We beat each other up with panels separately.
I would be there. So, just going back to the behavioral point, I think the mobile device is a very different device because it's used in social context. It's used in context. There are times of the day when it might have your dedicated attention, but most of the time you are using it in a context that you cannot devote yourself to it, unlike a desktop. I mean, let me just ask you, if you're with your friends in a restaurant and you need to figure out something, but basically check email or whatever. I mean, you'd be called bad names if you just dedicate yourself to the device for 20 minutes. In a young audience, it will not be looked upon favorably. It is a different device. You have to accept that. It will be used in different scenarios. It will be use case is different. A lot of usage will be asynchronous. You make requests, and SMS has trained us to do that, right? You make requests, and the response to it comes back after a few seconds. So we have to build applications that take the nature of the device.
Okay. Any other perspective?
I actually have a different perspective to this. While it's true that some of it is often frowned upon as a social inclusion, it's actually the same social nature that has driven mobile adoption. And I don't like the term VAS, as Julian says. Mobility like computing is a lifestyle element. And the way we are going, the path that we are going down upon is that it is going to do in a similar fashion, not to the same degree, the same stuff as the web does for us today. It's just a matter of time. And I agree with you in the sense that it's about finding the right applications, but I don't think that the social nature of it is a problem. It's actually the opportunity.
We could obviously go on and on. We should try and tie this up very quickly. In terms of revenue models, ultimately for companies to do the innovation that we are talking about, either on the device facing the customer or all the orchestration that needs to happen behind, right, inside the cloud, either the Amazon type of logistics one or technology innovation on the cloud, you need to have companies that make money, right? Now, so far that hasn't been very easy. Any breakthroughs that you see in the coming years on the revenue model innovation side that would be relevant for this audience, that weak signals that you want to amplify and point and say, you know what, this is very weak today, but look back 2-3 years from now, this will be something really to watch out for. So let me start with you, Samir, and go down and say, is there anything that strikes you in that category?
So the mobile phone, like you said, is available with every vendor or every service that you consume around you, right? We've had a partner who wants us to set up some specific services for one locality in the area I live in. There are, if a check succeeds one day, I will be paying my Ainwala this on mobile rather than digital cash transaction. So the granularity at which the device operates is a big enabler for smaller businesses to both advertise their services and also accept payments.
Mobile advertising. I think mobile advertising is going to be the key. Julius is in the company that I'm part of, started off looking at a platform that would actually retail content, and about 2.5 years ago we kind of moved away and focused on advertising, because that really is the trend. Consumers, just like on the internet, are going to access their content for free. The content is for free, and the service is going to be monetized through advertising. In fact, Vinay's CEO has gone on record saying that they're going to make more money on the mobile in the future, obviously, not right now, than on the PC.